in the heart of Nigeria, where the rhythms of life beat with hope and resilience. An organization is transforming lives one woman at a time.
The first contact I really had was when I went on a visit to Omu refugee camp way back in the early 2004 or 2005 with some of my friends, and we walked with the last batch of refugees going back to mostly Liberia. And from that experience, I just saw the importance of one, serving community, two, the gap between those of us who are privileged, educated, and people who are actually not privileged and educated is wide. But now to where I am today, I think the big bang idea then came to me in 2016. I was attending my master's in development finance in the Graduate School of Business, University of Cape Town. The idea to do what I do today started in that class when I sat in the classroom with other Africans, young like myself, who were thinking around how can we build the continent, not just for profit, but such that we're addressing issues around job creation, reducing poverty, making financing more accessible.
The only way to do it is what we call investment. Let's say it's investment. But you say this investment, you cannot do it if you don't do savings. You cannot do it if you are spending too much.
I remember I just started going into communities around. I went to Ekwe, I went to E4, and I just started going to ask the people there. It just turned out women started showing up. The first thing most times they just mentioned was capital, finance, and because that was an area I understood, I just connected there and started talking to one, two other friends, started pulling our personal savings together, and we're putting money into like farmers, group of farmers, female farmers, investing in them. I remember the first investment we did was a young girl. She was trying to start a poultry at the back of her father's house in Ekwe, and she spoke with me and we invested in her. Today, she's actually on my team.
I have been supporting Radiant Futures for about 3 years now as a partner.
Her work really aligns perfectly with my core values and mission, which is really to what they do in creating lasting change through education and empowerment. That's something that resonates deeply with me. And also their focus on financial literacy and access to capital, especially for indigent women in Africa. The platform Radiant Future has provided for those essential financial literacy to ensure that even those in remote areas, rural areas, receive the support they need to build sustainable livelihood. That's so exciting to be a part of. So yes, and being able to witness the transformation of those women, because I get reports, I see the videos, I see the testimonials, see how they transform those women's lives, how they help them gain financial independence and becoming even community leaders, really drives my commitment to the mission. So anytime Funmi says jump, I always say how high, because I know she's also driven and her passion is so infectious. You just have to fall in love with what she does. So yes, and being far away from home and having that opportunity to, be part of something practical and impactful, I'm honored to be a part of that journey.
So the main attraction was for Radiant Futures for me was because personally, I'm also from a finance background, and I think it's very important that we let the flow of income go, not only remain at the top, but go from top down with in our communities. And the fact that she was supporting low-income households, subsidizing hospital bills for different people with different needs.
Instant connection, because again with Amali, our main focus is to completely eradicate marginalization. So our focus is to ensure that there is equal opportunity to all, regardless of your social standing, regardless of your education, and so on. And what Funmi is doing with Radiant Futures is exactly that.
Discussing Radiant Futures with Funmi and what they're doing currently and their projections for the future, it was all a great and lovely idea. And I was like, how can one person be managing all of this by herself with a limited team, really limited team, and running around to these different communities and their outskirts. But the beauty for me, I think, is when I began to see results was the commitment, the transparency, The Radiant Futures, they're very, very transparent. They send out newsletters, they send out updates, how much, they've been able to raise and how that money has gone into the different packages that they have to support women. Is it scholarships for children of widows? Is it supporting women, that have, small businesses selling fast-moving consumer goods, and is it also coming as an equity investment into the women's businesses? So being able to see all of that real life through the newsletters I get in my email boxes, and it has an amazing flurry of information. It's super detailed. Speaking from a finance point of view, I was very impressed. The accountability was very evident for me.
Our first market with Radiant Futures was at Matogun, and their pain points were very real. A lot of organizations think that they need millions of naira to make an impact, but that's not the case. For a lot of the women in these communities, very little go a very long way for them to actually scale their business operations. For those that needed to buy equipment, they were able to do so. For those traders that also needed to just get inventory so that they can improve their sales, they were also able to do so. And one of the things we tried to also do is not just to give them the credits that they needed to boost their business, but also to provide them with the education. Everything together is what actually creates that impact and makes it sustainable in the long run.
Grace Adekunle's journey with Radiant Futures began when she first moved to Lagos in January 2018, leaving behind a job in Kwara State in the hope of a good life and a fresh start.
Microfinance bank tó wà ńbẹ̀ ibẹ̀ mo ti ṣiṣẹ́. Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ as cleaner, later wọ́n promote me to secretary, from secretary to teller. Nǹkan tó yẹ kí n fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé èèyàn tí mo fẹ́ gbà yẹn ó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, wọ́n á ní pé kí n máa bọ̀, àṣẹ wá resign àti àṣẹ wá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
Grace's life took a difficult turn when she resigned from her job to join her partner in Lagos. It was a decision that led to unforeseen hardships.
That was the beginning of my downfall, because getting to Lagos, I thought all would be well, not knowing that.
Radiant Futures welcomed Grace like family, enrolling her in a university and sponsoring her education in late 2018.
She tried to enroll me in National University. I was in that school. She was even the one paying for the school fees.
But challenges persisted and her partner pressured her to resign again. The conditions were harsh and she soon found herself pregnant and alone. Despite the stigma and rejection from her family, Radiant Futures stood by Grace, providing essentials and emotional support.
See, this same woman, Miss Okubanjo, she always called me, encouraged me, send me, even when you do the diaper to my yellow, I saw to my yellow, I only send everything because up to now,
in 2020, she returned to Lagos, where Radiant Futures provided the funds for her to start a business.
And then the woman I know, is not about the profit, it's about to see how serious I am. So then once of me pay Mama one weekly report, iṣẹ́ tí mo bá ń ṣe pé àdúgbò ìmú warrant ìwé àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe tó ń ta frozen, mo ṣe tún pé wọ́n ní pé màá fẹ́ máa ta frozen pé mo lè máa nídìí fridge méjì gẹ́gẹ́ mo ṣe rà ní pé fridge tí mo lò tẹ́lẹ̀ kékeré tí mo fi ń àìsàn ọ̀sẹ̀ mineral pé mi nílò freezer mineral fún ẹja á ní pé òkè pé kí n kọ lẹ́tà pé kí n apply fún loan. Tí mo ṣe kọ lẹ́tà ni mo apply fún loan. Mo kọ síbẹ̀ kan tí mo fẹ́ fi owó yẹn ṣe. Mo dá owó yẹn padà within 3 months. Even that Radiant Future náà ni ọ̀dọ̀ mo ti apply fún loan tí mo ti rà.
Today, Grace's continuing story is one of resilience and triumph.
There is much difference. Much difference. So if not for them, there is no way I can get them. So they are the one helping me to run my business, and they help the business to grow. If we can get an individual, maybe that can help, that can support them in what they are doing, we still help them more, because people are there that need help. There are women out there. Those that there are women that really need help out there.
Radiant Futures, through the Aziza Development Foundation, has been a beacon of hope, transforming the lives of countless women. Abike Aregbe, a widow and mother of 6, has successfully launched her own business.
Kó tó di pé mo bá wọn pàdé, mo máa ń bá wọn kọ́ ilé ẹlẹ́dẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n owó yàn tó ṣe bísínẹ́sì, mo sáà ń ṣe wọ́n bá agbára ni. Ètò wọn lọ sóò. Kí n tó wá bá wọn pàdé, nígbà tí mo bá wọn ilé iṣẹ́ yìí pàdé, wọ́n wá fún ya mi lówó. Wọ́n fún mi, wọ́n tẹ̀ fún mi lówó ní kí n sọ. Wọ́n ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Mo wá ń já oúnjẹ ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ tipa kan. Bí n bá ti já, mo tún ń fi géènì tí n bá rí lórí ẹ̀, màá tó fi gbadìẹ bíi pálí kan. Màá tó ṣe ní èdè òdù, màá tó gbé di ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta. Bí n bá gbé di ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta, màá tún tà. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ wọn àtìlẹ́yìn wọn ló jẹ́ kí n ṣì wà. Mi ì lè parọ́. Àtìlẹ́yìn wọn òun ni o. Torí wọ́n tráyè pẹ̀lú mi. Ọlọ́run máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́, iléeṣẹ́ yẹn máa tẹ̀síwájú. Ògo Ọlọ́run máa fara hàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run máa dìde ní gbogbo ọ̀nà. Wọ́n máa bá àánú pàdé.
Blessing Adebimpe has turned her passion for cooking into a thriving enterprise.
Radiant has been of help personally to me as a person. Apart from the knowledge, apart from the assistance they render, they've helped to develop my own potential as a person.
Hanato Ishaya, after expanding her skills, now actively uplifts others in her community.
We decide to be contributing to 2,000 naira every meeting, and if you want to buy Maggi, a pack of Maggi or detergents to bring, that is the person that will take that money that day. He will take with the Maggi and the detergents home. I still appreciate them for putting us in their mind and for trusting us for that.
Blessing Beatrice, once limited in opportunities, now owns a food joint, sells various products, and operates a POS business.
I don't know how to save. My expenses is more than my income. So when I get to know this foundation, I learn how to minimize how I spend my money.
And Miriam Adedoyin, affectionately known as Mama Abdullah, who faced the devastating loss of her husband and battled illness while caring for her 4 children and elderly mother, has reclaimed her health and stability.
They don't know me, my children, even my mom. Because I don't know what even have happened to us. This is over 2 years now. Within that period,
with Radiant Futures' support, she has returned to her profession as a trained auxiliary nurse, empowered with the capital and resources to rebuild her life.
Marriage won't need dàrú, wọn ò ní sunkún lórí ọmọ, iṣẹ́ wọn ò ní bàjẹ́, ibi tí wọ́n ti wá ń mú tán fi assist àwọn èèyàn. Ọlọ́run máa refund ẹ̀ in multiple ways. Torí Ọlọ́run sọ pé ẹni tó bá ti lè help the poor, òun ló help.
Over 1,000 women have been trained under our umbrella, unlocking more than 15 million naira in capital for underserved women and businesses. Radiant Futures has also established 10 support clusters across 4 states in Nigeria, ensuring sustainable development in these regions.
Today, we also introduce the women to health insurance because it's compulsory, right? So we'll start thinking around, okay, health insurance, how can you find people to just fund that? Because that's another way to give and it doesn't cost a lot. So which means if someone was saying, I'm giving 100,000, 100,000 can give more than 10 women health insurance at least to get them started. Our work really thrives because individuals are choosing to help. A lot of people want to help, but they just can't find the right channel to help. So our work is, let's build a system that is transparent, accountable.
Moreover, tens of children from the communities served are now receiving scholarships to access both formal education and vocational training, paving the way for a brighter future. Join us in making a lasting impact. Visit our website, donate, and become a part of the Radiant Futures and the Aziza Development Foundation today.